Once upon a time, there was a little bee named Bella, who lived in a beautiful garden filled with colorful and delicious flowers. Bella spent her days flying from flower to flower, collecting nectar and dancing in the air with her friends. But one day, something terrible happened. A big storm swept over the garden, taking away all the flowers that Bella loved. The sky darkened, and the gentle breeze turned into a frightening wind. When the storm finally passed, Bella emerged from her hive, trembling with fear. What she found made her sad. The garden was empty, without a single flower. A deep silence hung in the air, and the creatures that once were happy now seemed scared and hopeless. "What will we do now?" asked Gregory, the cricket, with a trembling voice. "Without flowers, there's no nectar. Without nectar, we can't live." Bella looked around and felt a chill in her stomach. It was as if the sadness of the garden was spreading, and she knew she had to do something before the darkness took over. With courage, she decided she couldn't let her home crumble like this. "If we don't have flowers, then let's plant them," she exclaimed, feeling a small spark of hope ignite inside her. But how could a bee do that all by herself? The fear of failing whispered in her ear, and insecurity threatened to paralyze her. But Bella, determined to face the challenges, knew she needed help. She remembered the stories her grandmother had told her about how small actions can make a big difference. "If we all work together, we can create a new home full of flowers," she said, her voice growing in confidence. And so the brave bee decided she would not give up, even if the path seemed dark and scary. Bella's journey was just beginning, and she would soon discover that, even in a world without flowers, true beauty could be found in friendship and the courage to face fear. And you, are you ready to find out what happens when a bee refuses to let fear win? Let's embark on this adventure together and see if Bella can transform the flowerless garden into a place filled with life and joy. In a sunny corner of the world, there was a bee named Bella. Unlike the other bees, who were content to fly in circles around the hive, Bella was known for her curiosity and thirst for adventure. Since she was little, she had dreamed of exploring exotic flowers full of sweet nectar. With her bright yellow wings, she was always on the lookout for new discoveries. One morning, while the other bees buzzed around the hive, Bella decided it was time to embark on a new journey. With a sparkle in her eyes and her heart racing, she flew farther than ever before. After a while, she spotted a garden that looked promising, bathed in golden light. However, upon landing, her joy quickly faded. What was once a dreamlike scene had turned into an arid desert, with not a single flower in sight. "What now?" Bella thought, looking around. "How am I going to collect nectar here?" The emptiness of the garden made her sad, and she almost decided to return home. But before melancholy could completely take over, a brilliant idea sparked in her mind like a ray of sunshine. If there are no flowers, why not plant some? Determination grew within her, and a new purpose emerged. Bella remembered the colorful seeds she had collected on her previous adventures. With a confident smile, she decided that she would turn that lifeless place into a floral paradise. "This garden will be my legacy," she exclaimed, filled with enthusiasm. Thus began her planting journey, scattering seeds over the dry soil, watering them with care, and dedicating her time to nurturing them. As Bella worked hard, a cricket named Gregory, who lived in the garden, watched with a skeptical eye. "What are you doing, bee?" he asked, hopping around her. "Do you really think you can make flowers grow where nothing thrives? What a crazy idea." He laughed, but Bella smiled back, not letting the cricket's words shake her. "Sometimes, what seems impossible can become possible. Just wait and see," she replied confidently. And so, Bella continued her mission, her unwavering faith in the power of transformation guiding her actions. With each passing day, the seeds began to germinate, and what was once a barren land started to come to life. Other creatures in the garden began to take an interest in what was happening. Meanwhile, Gregory, despite his jokes, couldn't help but feel curious. "Maybe this bee has something special," he thought as he watched Bella dedicate herself with such care. Over time, the little sprouts began to emerge from the ground, and the garden started to change. A burst of colors took over the space, and flowers began to bloom in a vibrant spectacle. The sweet and enchanting aroma of the flowers spread through the air, attracting even Bella's fellow bees from the hive, who came to witness the miracle unfolding. What was once a lifeless garden was now an oasis of beauty. Bella had accomplished what many thought was impossible. "I knew it was possible. The power of creating something from nothing is incredible," she exclaimed, dancing among the flowers. With her effort and determination, The brave bee not only transformed the garden, but also inspired everyone around her to believe that anyone can create opportunities where there was once nothing. As the flowers bloomed and the garden flourished, a new energy filled the place. The vibrant colors attracted not only bees but also dancing butterflies and even curious birds, who came to admire the beauty created by Bella. The fragrance of the flowers wafted through the air, turning that once forgotten corner into a true paradise. But not everything was peace and joy. The cricket Gregorio, who had laughed at Bella's idea at first, now found himself surrounded by a whirlwind of life. He began to realize that contrary to his expectations, the bee was not only right but had also accomplished something extraordinary. Deep down, he was impressed, but his pride prevented him from admitting it. One day, while Bella flew from flower to flower, she heard Gregorio, who was still standing on a rock, talking to himself. "I can't believe she did this. Maybe I underestimated this bee," he murmured, frustration evident in his voice. But at the same time, Gregorio began to feel an urge to join the party. Bella, always attentive and kind, heard the cricket's murmurs. "Gregorio, do you want to join us?" she asked, gently landing beside him. "There's room for everyone here, and the more the merrier." The cricket hesitated for a moment, battling his pride, but the contagious joy of the garden was hard to ignore. "Maybe I can help," he finally admitted, his voice hesitant. "I know a few tricks to keep predators away." "I can do that." Bella smiled broadly. "Great. Let's work together to take care of this garden. By combining our skills, we can make it even more beautiful." And so, Gregorio began to integrate into the team. He used his melodious song to drive away unwanted insects while Bella continued to pollinate the flowers, ensuring that the garden multiplied. The combination of their efforts made the place thrive even more, bringing new species of flowers and plants that had never grown there before. Over time, the garden became a true example of collaboration and friendship. The creatures who once had doubts now united, admiring the vision of Bella and Gregorio, who together showed that unity is strength. Everyone learned that instead of criticizing or laughing at others' ideas, the best path was to support and collaborate. One beautiful morning, upon waking and observing the garden filled with dancing flowers in the wind, Bella felt immense satisfaction. "Look what we've done together," she exclaimed, looking at Gregorio and all the new friends who had joined them. "A place that was empty is now a home for all of us." Gregorio, now full of enthusiasm, replied, "And it all started with an idea and the courage to plant some seeds. You taught me that even in the toughest situations, we can create opportunities." Bella smiled, knowing that by transforming the garden, she had also planted seeds of hope and friendship in the hearts of all who lived there. And so, the garden became a symbol of resilience and collaboration, reminding everyone that with determination and unity, it is possible to create beauty where there was once nothing. With the garden now vibrant and full of life, news of the miracle that Bella and Gregorio had created began to spread. Bella's hive, which had once been distant and suspicious, was now full of curious bees. They wanted to see up close that magical place that had transformed under the care of the brave bee. One day, a group of bees led by the queen of the hive, named Donna Melina, decided to visit the garden. Upon arrival, they were amazed by the explosion of colors and aromas. "Bella, is that you?" Donna Melina exclaimed, with a look of disbelief. "This is incredible. What happened here?" Bella, radiant with happiness, flew in circles around the queen. "I came to explore but found a garden without flowers. Instead of giving up, I decided to plant seeds, and now look what it has become. And Gregorio helped me." The queen smiled, admiring Bella's courage and vision. "You truly did something extraordinary. This is very inspiring." The bees from the hive soon joined them, dancing among the flowers and tasting the sweetest nectar they had ever had. Joy filled the air, and the creatures of the garden felt part of something greater. With the arrival of the bees, the garden transformed into a true center of life and collaboration. Gregorio, watching everything, couldn't help but feel happy. "I never thought a cricket could feel so much a part of something grand," he said, with a genuine smile. "It's amazing how teamwork brings such good results." Bella replied, "And who would have thought that a cricket and a bee could make such a difference together?" As time passed, the garden continued to flourish. The bees brought more seeds and pollinated the flowers, while Gregorio and other creatures of the garden helped keep everything safe and organized. Together, they transformed that space into a true ecosystem, where each being had its role and contributed to the well-being of all. However, one day, an unexpected danger approached. A dark cloud began to form in the sky, and soon a strong wind started to blow, threatening to knock down the flowers and scatter the seeds through the air. The creatures of the garden panicked, and everyone ran to find shelter. Bella, realizing it was time to act, flew to Gregorio and said, "We need to protect the garden. Let's unite." Gregorio, now full of confidence, replied, "Let's warn everyone else. If we work together, we can save what we've built." With that determination, Bella, Gregorio, and the bees began organizing all the inhabitants of the garden. Each had a task. Some were to help secure the flowers with webs, others would stand guard to fend off the strong winds, and the bees prepared to collect nectar as quickly as possible. "Let's show them the strength of unity," shouted Bella as everyone got ready. With courage and dedication, they faced the storm. The flowers swayed, but together they managed to protect them, keeping the garden safe. After the storm passed, the garden stood tall, albeit a bit messy. The flowers were there, sturdy, and everyone gathered to assess the damage. "We saw the power of teamwork," said Dona Melina, proud of her subjects. "And the garden held strong, thanks to all of you." Bella looked at her friends and smiled. "This is just the beginning. There will always be challenges, but together, we are stronger. Let's continue to nurture our home and create beauty where there was none before." And so the brave bee and her friends learned that when they worked as a team, they could overcome any obstacle and turn their dreams into reality. The once empty garden was now a symbol of resilience, friendship, and collaboration, where life blossomed in its fullness. With the garden recovered from the storm, the creatures were more united than ever. The experience had strengthened their bonds, and over time, each began to realize the importance of their contribution. But a new challenge lay ahead, one that did not involve storms or predators, but something much deeper, the desire to expand the garden. One morning, while Bella danced among the flowers, she had an idea. What if we planted a new garden elsewhere? We can create a new home for more creatures. She could hardly contain her excitement as she shared the idea with Gregorio and Dona Melina. "We can take our seeds to other places and spread the beauty we created here." Gregorio, who had now become her loyal ally, widened his eyes. "That's a great idea. But how are we going to do it?" Queen Dona Melina, always wise, pondered the proposal. "We need a plan. First, we must find a suitable place and then organize everyone for the new journey." The bees, already accustomed to flying to explore new flowers, were eager for adventure. With Gregorio's help and all the creatures in the garden, they began to prepare. Each had a specific task. Some bees were tasked with collecting nectar, while others were to bring seeds and fertile soil. Gregorio rallied the other inhabitants, asking them to help build small backpacks from leaves and spiderwebs to carry the seeds. After days of preparation, the big day finally arrived. The group gathered in the center of the garden, with Bella at the front, filled with determination. "We are ready to make history. Let's spread our seeds and make the world blossom." With a shout of unity, everyone followed Bella toward a new horizon. During the journey, they passed through fields and forests, always cheerful and enthusiastic. But as they moved away from their home, insecurity began to creep in. Gregorio, ever the observer, noticed some were hesitant. "Is everything okay?" he asked, to be flying more slowly. "I'm worried. What if we don't find a place as beautiful as our garden? What if we can't make flowers grow there?" the bee replied, her voice full of uncertainty. Gregorio smiled and said, "Remember what we did together. We started from an empty garden and managed to create something amazing. If we work together, we can do it again." Bella, overhearing the conversation, decided to intervene. "We can't let fear stop us. Beauty doesn't just come from flowers, but from our desire to create and believe. Let's go together." Her words resonated among everyone, rekindling the spirit of the group. After hours of flying, they finally spotted a new location, a sunny clearing surrounded by trees. The soil looked fertile, and a gentle breeze blew through the air. "This is the place," Bella exclaimed, and they all gathered in a circle to discuss the next step. With renewed determination, they began to plant the seeds, each contributing their part. The bees pollinated while the crickets and other beings helped tend to the soil. The new garden began to come to life, and soon the clearing was filled with colorful flowers, just like the first garden. Seeing the results, Bella and her friends felt fulfilled. "Look at what we've managed to do together again," said Bella, beaming. "Every step was worth it, and together we can make a difference." And so the new garden flourished, not just as a space full of beauty, but as a symbol of the power of unity and courage. Bella, the brave bee, and her friends learned that true magic lies in the ability to dream, plant, and make things grow, even in the most unexpected places. With the new garden blooming, the joy in the air was palpable. The clearing, which was once just an empty space, was now a vibrant refuge, full of colors and life. The bees danced from flower to flower, while butterflies joined the celebration, creating a stunning spectacle. Bella, in particular, was ecstatic. Look how our efforts paid off. This place is now a home for all of us. But amid the celebration, Gregorio the cricket felt that something was different. He noticed that, although the new garden was thriving, some creatures still seemed uncertain. One morning, while organizing the care of the plants, he approached a butterfly named Lucia, who appeared a bit distant. "Hi, Lucia. Are you okay?" he asked, curious. Lucia looked at Gregorio with a thoughtful expression. "I'm happy, but sometimes I wonder if we're ready for this. What if we can't keep everything beautiful like in our first garden?" Gregorio smiled, understanding her concern. "The truth is, we all fear failure. But remember what we achieved together. Every flower we see today is the result of our work and courage." At that moment, Bella joined the conversation. "And if something goes wrong, we can always come together and find a solution. Here we are a team." Bella's words brought new spirit to Lucia and the others. The idea that collaboration was the key to success began to take hold. As the days went by, the new garden became an example of unity and resilience. Bella and her friends organized daily meetings where everyone could share their concerns and ideas. The interaction strengthened the trust among the inhabitants, and the atmosphere was one of learning and growth. One afternoon, while they were working together, Gregory had a brilliant idea. "How about we hold a festival to celebrate our garden and showcase the beauty we've created?" Excitement filled the group. Everyone began to plan the festival, and each creature had a special role. The bees would take care of making delicious nectar, while the crickets planned a musical performance. Finally, the day of the festival arrived. The new garden was adorned with flowers and decorated with colorful foliage. The creatures gathered, full of joy and anticipation. Bella, excited, climbed onto a high rock and with her cheerful voice said, "Today we celebrate not only our garden but the unity that brought us here. May we always remember that together we are stronger." The festival was a success. Everyone danced, had fun, and celebrated the life they had created together. And on that day, they not only celebrated the flowers but also the strength of friendship and the courage to dream big. "Look at everything we've done," exclaimed Bella, as she looked around, feeling proud of each one. "This is just the beginning. Whenever we work together, there are no limits to what we can achieve." And so the new garden became a symbol of hope and collaboration, where everyone learned that with determination and friendship, it is possible to create something truly beautiful, even from an empty space. The brave bee and her friends were ready to face any challenge the future held for them. So folks, what an incredible journey our bee Bella has had, right? She faced storms and loneliness but never let fear stop her. With courage and the help of her friends, she transformed a flowerless garden into a vibrant and lively place. But remember, this story doesn't end here. Stay tuned, because life is full of challenges, and just like Bella, you might also find dark moments. The key is to believe that with friendship and teamwork, it is possible to overcome any obstacle. Never forget that even when everything seems desolate, it is in small actions and unity that we find true strength. So the next time you feel lost or sad, remember our brave little bee and that each of you has the power to create something beautiful from what seems lost. Keep dreaming and cultivating your own flowers, because the world is waiting for you. Until next time, let's make our garden an even more special place together.